You know, Adam, 2020 has just started. We're only like 2 weeks into it, and already I think Malaysia has had its meme of the year when the MACC released a series of audio recordings said to prominently feature ex-PM Najib and his very well-known spouse. Let's walk it back. Let's put all of these recordings into context. They were taken over a span of a couple of years, and it showed a lot of insight into probably the back dealings of 1MDB. You put it all together in a timeline. So how do you summarize it up?
Okay, so basically the conversations that MACC released, there were two parts to it. One centered around January, February 2016, and the other half is in July 2016.
Later the same year.
Yeah, later the same year. So what we did was to have a timeline from around July 2015 when the 1MDB
issue first really
news
came out.
first blew up. Yeah. So and then there was a lot of heat on the Prime Minister then and also on 1MDB at the time. So there were cabinet reshuffling, change in top positions in the government. So what happened then was based on the conversations, there was some expectation that the heat will be turned down by the authorities on 1MDB. So especially from the MACC.
Oh yeah, because we had some recordings between them and the head at the time, right?
Yeah. With the Zulkifli Ahmad. This is the guy who was in the AGC and actually allegedly leaked the information to Najib.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So the expectation was that the heat will turn down, but that did not happen. Actually, Abu Qasim or the MACC released a report to the AGC recommending otherwise, something that is different than one that Najib expected. Okay, so and then in between there was some more shake-up. MACC switched their tone eventually. There was some friction with the police, but then in July 2016, the DOJ lawsuit came out. Right? Yeah.
Which you couldn't hide, you couldn't tamp that down.
Yeah. So putting that into context, at that time, based on the conversation and also based on a recent interview by Al Jazeera, so Abu Qasim was the one who leaked the information to the US DOJ.
Yes,
right?
He came out very well in all of it. He was the one who looked for a way to connect, right? So that he could pass.
Yes. Because he apparently he couldn't do it here in Malaysia, somehow rather because of the pressure. Perhaps.
Because there must have been massive pressure on him from all sides, right? But in a way, it's great that he did what he knew was kind of right.
Yes. So that thing just escalated. 1MDB was back on the news, and then Najib's stepson's name Riza came out. All this red grenade and all this. So and then we put it. Listening back to the conversations, basically there was an attempt to kind of, clean some of these things that perhaps Riza was using illegitimately.
It is massive damage control.
Yes.
That's massive damage control. And what did the recordings reveal, if you haven't heard it yet, about them trying to damage control? There was Najib talking to a Saudi prince, asking for help.
In the conversation between Najib and also the Crown Prince of UAE, they were talking about how Riza didn't know the origin of the funds. The money for red grenades was supposed to come from UAE, right? So there was. So at this point in time. There was some argument. Maybe Riza didn't know where the money came from, and so on and so forth. So
a lot of people are putting that up, saying that he maybe in his universe, because we don't live in that universe, it was normal to just have a lot of money just deposited in your account. Maybe that's a norm for him.
Yeah.
But you cannot argue. I think we both agree that you can't argue that as it goes on.
Yeah, because Najib explicitly, based from the recording, Najib explicitly asked the Crown Prince to have a fake loan agreement to actually legitimize the funds. So you're given a choice, right? If you found out something that
Was
you are,
vaguely dodgy.
yeah, maybe you got ill-gotten funds. For example, you have a choice of whether to go to the authorities. Say actually, I got this, but then I didn't know it was here. Or you can hide it, lah, which I think Najib chose the latter.
Now, the one thing that I saw the most in all the comments because we sort of like released the clips after MACC released them, was this even legal to begin with? These conversations recordings, were they even legal to begin with? Because apparently a lot of people are very scared that their phones are being listened to right now, although they're saying this on Facebook, which probably tracks them more. But yeah, is it even legal to begin with? I know what I think, but when we broached this question, what was the answer?
Well, okay, if it is the authorities, then the Criminal Procedure Code
Covers it.
Covers it. It allows recording in this sense. If it's to prove a crime, with the approval of the prosecutor lah. And lawyer Sharizan actually said that it is during Najib's time that they actually amended this CPC
Yes,
to
it
allow
was,
the
wasn't it?
recording. Yeah. So okay, it's actually legal in this sense if we find that the recordings actually show there's a crime being committed and so on. So okay, but then there's also the question about whether it is legal to wiretap the Prime Minister, right? Okay, because people will assume everyone else can have their conversations recorded but not the Prime Minister. But then again, no one is above the law, right?
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of The Edge Weekly at all good newsstands.